Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something really interesting. How a simple habit, something you could teach a kid, can actually be this profound tool for building a life of integrity and peace. We're going to connect some big spiritual truths to a super practical everyday skill. So let's see how this all works. Everything we're talking about today really stands on this one verse from Romans. And look, this isn't just a nice, comforting thought. It's a huge declaration about two completely different ways to live, two totally different mindsets. This really sets the stage for understanding the massive difference between just having knowledge and having true, life-giving wisdom. And that leads us to a pretty critical problem. We live in an age that absolutely loves education. But what happens when all that learning is disconnected from a moral compass? Well, you get cleverness without character. You get people who can make really smart but ultimately destructive choices. It's like a crisis of knowledge without any soul. And this slide just lays it out so clearly, doesn't it? You've got these two paths. On one side, you have a mind that's focused on worldly stuff, which leads to being clever, sure, but it ends in destructive outcomes. And then on the other side, you've got a mind focused on the spiritual, and that road leads to true wisdom, to integrity, and to the ultimate goals, life and peace. So the big question is, how do we actually choose that path of life and peace? Well, the idea here is to anchor all of our learning in biblical truth. It's about weaving faith into every subject so that learning isn't just about what we know, but about who we're becoming in the process. Okay, so that's the why. It makes sense, right? But how do we actually do this? How do we apply this big idea in our regular day-to-day lives? The first tool we're given is, believe it or not, surprisingly simple: financial tracking. And it's framed not as some boring chore, but as a really powerful spiritual discipline. At the heart of all this is this idea of financial stewardship. So what does that even mean? Well, when you boil it down, it just means recognizing that everything we have, our money, our resources, it's all a gift from God. And our job is just to be a responsible and trustworthy manager of it. It totally reframes how you look at your wallet, right? So let's make this super practical. Let's take Leah. She gets a $15 allowance and she spends $5 on art supplies. It's a basic deposit and withdrawal. The transaction itself is simple, but the act of tracking it, well, that's the first step in acknowledging that every single dollar, in or out, is part of a bigger story. And then you have Samuel. He's saving up for a skateboard. So for him, tracking his money isn't just about math. It's about building patience and focus. He's literally watching that number grow week after week, and it transforms this far-off wish into a real, tangible plan. It teaches him the faithfulness he needs to actually reach his goal. And finally, there's Rachel. And her story is probably the most relatable for a lot of us, right? Those small, everyday purchases, a coffee here, a snack there, they feel like nothing. But by tracking them, she's practicing honesty with herself and her resources. She's learning that being a good steward isn't just about the big things, it's about being mindful in all the little ones. So you see, each of these little stories, Leah's spending, Samuel's saving, Rachel's daily habits, they all show a different piece of this stewardship puzzle. Now, let's see how it all comes together in one simple but really powerful tool. And boom, here it is. This is basically how it works. You see Leah's $15 allowance getting deposited, the balance goes up. Then she spends $5 on art supplies, the balance goes down. Then you see Rachel's 2 coffee purchases get logged, and you can literally watch the balance shrink with each one. It's just a clear, honest story of where the money is actually going, no mystery. Building this habit really just comes down to 3 simple things. First, log it right away. Don't wait. That's how you stay accurate. Second, remember Rachel's coffee. You've got to track the small stuff because it always adds up. And third, check your balance pretty regularly, just to make sure what you've written down matches reality. It's that consistent discipline that builds trustworthiness over time. So now we connect this super practical skill back to the big picture. Because this was never just about being good with numbers, was it? No, this is about the spiritual fruit. It's about becoming the person you were meant to be. And the practical results, they happen pretty fast. When you know where your money is going, you're in control, not your impulses. That clarity helps you stop overspending, and you can actually hit your savings goals, just like Samuel was trying to do. Every one of these things builds more than just a healthy bank account. It builds that financial peace that comes from being responsible. And that brings us to this final verse, which really is the whole point. The number one requirement for a steward, a manager of God's resources, isn't to be rich or smart or clever. It's to be found trustworthy. That's the real measure of success. So it all just clicks into place, doesn't it? This simple, daily habit of just keeping track of what you've been given, it's a powerful, tangible way to prove you're responsible. It's a foundational practice for building a life of integrity, one small, faithful decision at a time.
And so, we're left with this question to chew on. The habits you're building today, they don't just stop with you. They become the lessons you pass on to your kids. So, are you building a legacy of stewardship, of integrity, and ultimately, are you building a legacy of life and peace?